Season 4 of NBA 2K26 just dropped, and I wanted to show you guys the best optimized point guard build for Pro Am or Rec. New to the channel, my name is Lance. I'm the head coach for USA Basketball's esports NBA 2K team. In the last 2 seasons in eFIBA, we've won back-to-back gold medals, so I kind of understand a lot that goes into these builds. So with that, we're going to get into this build with the height being 6'4". We're going to go minimum weight at 175. We're going to go 6'4" wingspan. For your finishing, we're going to go with a 77 close shot. For your driving layup, we're going to go with a 74. For your driving dunk, we're going to go 80. For your standing dunk, we're going to go 25. And post control, we're going to go 39. Now, the reason this is kind of a play style sort of decision. I don't dunk the ball a lot, so I'm going to go 80 driving dunk. And we'll kind of touch base on like why later. But in my opinion, I don't think, I mean, unless you're a guard that just loves to run 5 out or go dunk the ball, this build might not be for you. This is more for getting threes up, maybe shooting the midi a lot more than driving it. But driving dunk at 80, you're going to have enough dunk to be able to get dunks off if you need them, but you're not going to get any like the crazy contacts or anything. So for your shooting, mid-range, you're going to go 92. Your three-pointer, we're going to go 94. And your free throw, we're going to go 99. And so we're going to touch on the cap breakers at the end of this video and exactly how you need to build this out. To max this build out, you're going to need about 13 cap breakers, but you can kind of adjust it to whatever you need. But mid-ranges to me are really hard to challenge and like timing this game, especially if you're not using tempo. So if you're shooting with X, if you're in like leagues or anything like that, and they ban the tempo shooting, the mid-range is pretty tough to shoot. So I think, you know, upping this, getting this to a higher rating is going to benefit you to kind of have a second scoring option. Since we can't like dunk the ball like really well, this is our scoring option. And then just with how the game is, I think the midi is undervalued a little bit by a lot of players. 99 free throw, because why not just make all your free throws be easy, get some easy points. For your playmaking, we're going to go 85 with your pass accuracy. We're going to go 89 ball handle. We're going to go 86 speed with ball. So again, a lot of cap breaker stuff going to happen with our shooting and our playmaking that we can touch base when we get there. But you're going to have everything that you're going to need with this, with your ball handle cap breaks, speed with ball cap breaks, your 3-point cap breaks. Pass accuracy, we're going to leave. If you could get this higher, I mean, higher versatile visionary is good for like those double teams and traps and stuff, but I don't think that you necessarily need it. If you get trapped, you're going to get trapped. For your defense, we're going to go 46 interior. Perimeter, we're going to go 75. For your steal, we're going to go 85. And for your block, we're going to go 61. So now this one is really like Rec Pro-Am, like must-haves in my opinion. Now your perimeter, you could go to 74. Really, we wanted 74 to get the bronze on-ball menace. But we're not going to touch any of the defense with the cap breakers. This 85 steal is a preference thing. I think as a point guard, you're 6'4" in the corner if you're playing Pro-Am. This is really just for lanes, and you're going to be really good in lanes. So this is, again, as a preference. You could lower this down if you want and use your max +1s or +2s to get whatever badge level you want. I think there's different animations at 85 that kick in. The 75 perimeter is just if you get stuck on ball at all, or you have to like jump at anything, that's where the block comes in play. So jumping is your block rating. So we want to have a high block rating almost on any player in this game, because you need to be able to jump and get contests. So you're 6'4", you have a 61 block. You're going to be able to get as much contest as you can literally at this position. So everything here is pretty good defensive wise. I guess it's more of a decision that you want to make with your steal at the 85, or you're going to lower it to a different threshold. Rebounding, we're not going to touch. Speed, we're going to go 86. Agility, we're going to go 79. Strength, 35. And vertical at 60 is the threshold for some of the dunk packages with the 80 dunk. So again, if you're going to raise the dunk up, you got to raise the vertical up, so you're going to have to like maneuver a lot of stuff here. Your steal is something you can move, maybe even your mid-range if you don't want it that high, to kind of tailor to yourself. So with that, we're going to jump into looking at the cap breakers here, and we'll kind of talk about what you need to do. I'm probably going to put a picture up. It'll be easier to explain than going through it live. So we'll get to that point here. Okay, so as you can see on screen, we have the cap breaker menu up here. Now let's kind of look at this a little bit. So really what we want to see is everything that, you know, the build actually makes sense of like what we wanted to do. So that's the first thing you always want to do is check if you like missed a rating. You don't want to already buy VC, put it on, and then accidentally mess up your build. So with this build, the number 1 and number 2 things I think that you have to absolutely get, there's really 3, but is your ball handle, speed with ball, and your 3. You can leave your 3 a little lower and work on that later, but really these 2 as a point guard you're going to want. So we're going to +5 your speed with ball. So that's going to go from 86 to a 91, which is perfect. That's exactly what we wanted. That's going to get all those badges that you want as a point guard. Ball handle, we are going to use 3 cap breakers to get it to a 92. So right here, that's where those will go. And then your next 5 are going to go to 3-point to get a 99.3. So that's like the must-haves. And then from then on, there's a lot of things that you can do with this build if you wanted to like keep improving it. That's already a lot of cap breakers. You can keep up in your midi. You can get that all the way up to like a 97. You can actually go look. You can actually up your steal more. You can up your perimeter. You could up your dunk, but again, the vertical has to go along with it. So the build itself can just continuously being upgraded. I think this is like a perfect, I wouldn't say like end-game point guard, but pretty close to an end-game point guard, where with the rest of the season, NBA 2K26, you make this one now. As I said, you can keep upping things on this build to unlock the badges that you need, even get some of the better motion styles. I think just in general, if you keep grinding this build, you're going to get pretty much anything that you need as a point guard and won't ever have to like make another build, in my opinion. This build's kind of set up to be that. But again, you need 13 cap breakers at the minimum to make this. So if you have less than that, I would maybe think about, maybe starting with the lower 3-pointer if you're just really desperately needing it, just because as a point guard, you're going to want to be able to have those dribble moves. So if you're only at like 10, I would definitely think about going like ball handle, speed with ball, and then some 3, or any kind of mixture of that. But definitely try to get 13. If you have any more, just think about the mid-range if you can't green it, but there's a lot of ways, like I said, you can go with this build. Okay, now for the best jumper for this build. So I went ahead and just put it on here just so you can see. If you can go Patty Mills, I would go Patty Mills. That's always like a standard for one. But a secondary one, in case some people don't have it unlocked, I wanted to try to find a secondary good one. So again, if you have the lower base, go Patty Mills. Oscar Robertson just came out with this season, and so I would really highly test this one out with the defensive immunity that it has. It pretty much ups any jumper to that. And then I would do Baluba. Curry's a good one. Allen Iverson, I would try. Those are probably the best ones. And then here is the blend. For me, I would go full release. If not, then I would go kind of like in between these two. Whatever, your kind of cue is. But I'm going to go full release. Max release speed, we're going to go 55 to Oscar for the best jump shot. And that'll do it for this video. If you're interested in a tool that can help you with your titles and thumbnails, check out a tool that I use called Launch Lens. It'll be in the link in the description below. Pretty much you can go in and it will optimize your video for the best title based on its transcript. And then it can auto-generate thumbnails for you so you can actually not waste a lot of time doing it and get high-quality thumbnails at the same time. So if you're interested, check that out. If you found this video helpful, consider subscribing, and I'll see you in the next one.